hey, what do you say? Yeah, I had someone in the comments section a little while back say, can I make what basically is maybe a more traditional bottle opener? You know, a bottle opener where it has a hoop, maybe a punched out, drifted out hole, and and just show that process. Way back when I made one with just a simple hook, and some time back I got into a kick where I was making a whole bunch of different bottle openers. And it's a shame that I gave a lot of those away, or I traded people for certain things, and I don't have pictures of some. Some of them I really, some were really tricked out. I spent a lot of time on the, the handle end and different shapes for how you open your bottle cap. And so yeah, it's just a shame I don't have them. Some, like I said, were pretty tricked out. And I mean, he could have made like an episode of like Pimp My Bottle Opener, with all the bottle openers that I made way back when. But now, it's a different story. I don't have so much time. So, but what I will include in this video is I'm going to take a trip to the beer shop that I normally go to, because I actually gave them, or I traded them for beer. I traded them a few bottle openers, and I'll maybe just do a quick video showing a couple of those. But they're not really some of the best, but yeah, they're okay. So I'll show them anyway. So yeah, so for this project, I was thinking rather than do it in a more, like I said, what people consider traditional way, I thought and scratched my head and see what steel I have. And I have this piece of it's like about 5/16 inch square. And so my thought is this this process right here is I've got this bar, and I'm going to bend it in half. And then I'm going to squeeze in two sides like such, so that it'll have a proper opening for covering the bottle cap. And then in order to secure this together, I'll twist it, and then I'll see if I can push out a little lip here for that that catches the bottom of the bottle cap. And then maybe on the back end here, I'll do a treatment similar to what I do on my handle top tools in order to hang it up. So yeah, so that'll be my basic thoughts on this. To go about this in a somewhat different way, where you can still have this more of a traditional style hoop in order to open your bottles. So yeah, let me get started on it, and we'll see how it works out. I'm tapering the ends a bit because I want the ends to fit in that twisting tool you just saw. I'm just basically thinking as I'm going along here. You know, this often happens with projects where I have an idea, but I haven't made this style yet before. So, you know, I'm sure like if you watch this, then you can probably clean up the technique a bit. I'm just trying to make where the two straight legs meet the circular section as tight as possible, because that's where I'll draw out a little catch, a little nub that will catch the bottom of the bottle caps. So right in that area, it just has to be as tight as possible. So that's why I keep putting it in the vise and tightening that section, and then do a little bit of upsetting in that area too. Here I'm further pushing that in with, I have this hammer with the straight peen, and I just had this idea to use that, and that really squeezed it in very well in that area. So, just again, just kind of, flying by the seat of my pants here, just making up things as I go along. But, I have a general idea. So, and this is what really is joyful for me, is just working on something like this, and you kind of, just make it up as you go along. Sometimes the stuff I normally do can become a little bit monotonous because you've done it, so many times. So, yeah, having fun. And one more go at that just to finish that off. Also, I want to apologize if my camera keeps getting in and out of focus. It's just, someone had mentioned that, or many people have, and it's because I'm using my camera phone and I can't, it's on autofocus, and someone mentioned to put it on manual, but I don't see that it has that sort of a function. So, things are moving along here on the channel, and I think, maybe time for me to invest in a better camera, a dedicated camera. here I'm just hammering out that little nub or that little catch that will catch on the bottom of the caps. Having a bit of difficulty here. But, you know, this video is like some people complain about the length, but I like to keep them in what's basically real time, or almost real time. So, you know, you get to see a few different foibles, but what can you say? That's, you know, that's the way it goes. Here I'm starting to get like a little bit ridiculous. I'm just using this piece of 1/4 inch to offset. I want to offset the very end of this. Most bottle caps are about 1/4 of an inch high, so I just want to make that an offset there, so when the bottle opener comes in straight into the bottle cap, the catch will catch on the bottom and the top end will brace on the top end of the bottle cap. But, you know, I had a Hardy tool that was about, you know, that made in that shape, about 1/4 inch. I don't know why I didn't use it. I just placed that piece on the anvil face, and of course, you know, here I go again, and it's kind of flying all over the place. But, you know, sometimes just grab what you have next to you and go with it. Look out, here I come with my angle grinder with a flat tip. Must be wanting to sharpen a drill bit. I don't like to monkey around too much with power tools with the angle grinder here. It's just loud and obnoxious. So I just, you know, this cold work, I just try to get it done and, you know, as fast as possible. And, you know, the better your hammering is, the less cold work you'll have to do. Just eyeballing it to just make sure it's going to work properly here, that's all. Here I'm twisting the back end to get a nice view of my hairy arm and back. I've got hair everywhere except on my head. I remember when I was 14 years old, an older dude saw me, and, you know, I had pretty hairy legs for a 14-year-old kid, and he's like, "Boy, what are you, a boy in a gorilla suit?" And I still remember that. It was really funny that day.
hammering a twist square after you've made the twist can be a really nice effect. So if you haven't tried that before, give it a try. It tightens everything up, and it gives it a different dimension. Just yeah, pretty pleasing. This is a beer shop I frequently go to, maybe on the weekend. It's called L'Apéro Beer Shop. And so I'll just take a quick peek inside. Not too many folks inside because I'm an older dude. I go in early to drink. So you can see, they have quite a selection even though it's such a small shop. And it's mainly Belgian beer, but it's, well, European beers, but mostly Belgian beers. But they have all varieties. The Trappist ales, lambic beers, you name it, they've got it in here. And then they have this big fridge, so if you drink in, then they have pretty much a few of each one that's cold. But some of these beers don't even need to be cold, to be honest. Especially the ones that have higher alcoholic content. So I didn't really want to be too intrusive, so just kind of quickly give you a scan around. And then, these 4 bottle openers I made for them. That's kind of like in the past video, just quick, like a little hook. And then this one and the other one on the left are a little bit more unique. They have kind of that open loop. And then this one is more of a traditional on the front end. And kind of gave it kind of a jointed look. It's got my mark on it, but kind of hard to see. So, yeah, like I said, I went on a kick and I made a whole bunch of bottle openers way back in the day. So I wish I had pics of some of the others, but so be it. Here are 2 Christmas beers I had when in the shop. Gordon Christmas and Bouche de Noël. The Bouche de Noël is 12%, which is basically barley wine. Absolutely fantastic beer. Okay, so here are 3 beers I have on hand at home here. And I'll use one of these to test out the new bottle opener. On the left is probably my favorite beer. My standby is Castile Donker.
and that beer's got an alcohol content of 11%. Pretty big beer, but it's very sweet, and you hardly taste any alcohol at all. It's very good beer. The other Castiles I don't care for too much, but that Donker is very good stuff. In the middle is St. Bernardus, and that's actually the lightweight of these three at 10% alcohol, which is kind of hard to believe, but these beers are pretty heavy. And it says underneath St. Bernardus, it says Apt 12, and I think that ABT stands for quadruple. And 12, I think, used to be 12%, but now it's 10%. And that's a really good beer. It's pretty complex. And then on the right is Trappist Rochefort 10, which is the heaviest of the Rochefort beers, and that comes in. That's actually the highest alcohol content of these three. That's 11.3%, and that's a very complex beer. The two, Saint Bernardus and the Rochefort, the Trappist Rochefort, are very similar in taste. I'd probably give it the Rochefort maybe a little bit higher of a grade though. So, but the Castile's more of something I would like to have. Maybe I don't drink often, but if I have a beer, I'd choose that probably first, just because I have a bit of a sweet tooth. So I'll say one thing: the Belgians, boy, they really know beer. The beers, maybe they're not so cheap, but I don't drink much at all, so one occasional beer, it's not a big deal. So, but yeah, they cost a little bit, but I think, in my opinion, it's worth it. So keep the donations coming. I need to buy beer. Cheers. À votre santé. Bottoms up. Gambe.
I'll never get a job as a bartender with that much head. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thanks so much for watching.